Here we are. I'm going to talk about a story that happened earlier today before Oracle and I left to go get my man to fix the car. But, hey, oops. Hey, Jacob.
Yeah?
You remember when Oracle and I were leaving and I came and asked for a hug in your room? What happened after that?
My friend, he's like, can I have a hug too?
He said, "You're a super cool dude. Will you give me a hug?" He's like, "This might sound a little weird, but can I get a hug too?" You remember that? That made me feel really, really good, you know, because it says in the Bible, it says something to the effect that all you gotta do to get into heaven is be good to children. That's it. Pretty simple. Anyways, peace. Enjoy the car wash and maybe the conversation. Alright, I'm good. I'm just gonna keep recording the car wash though. Petition for Americans to witness court of law. We, the people of America, in order to secure our union, justice, domestic tranquility, general welfare of personal rights, and the blessings of freedom for ourselves and future mankind, do petition and pray to the only sovereign in existence that our elected officials properly perform duty and satisfy us by action that they, elected officials, uphold the sovereign's law and respect rights granted to us by said sovereign that are self-evident. People of America have probable cause found in testimony, recordings, third-party impartial witnesses, standing, certify or verify documents of evidence, verify statements of harm, injury, and/or loss, and true and lawful accuser who press charges with living voice as Son of Man. People of America witness October 18, 2021, Emily Cowan wastes all people's time before continuance to another date. November 1, 2021, Gene Johnson wastes all people's time when Allan Smith required to exercise his right to be prosecuted. Continuance made. November 15, 2021, Kim Justice wastes all people's time by not dispensing fraudulent documents forged to appear as lawfully issued from court. Emily Cowan also issued unlawful order for arrest on December 6 and rightfully recalled the same order on December 9, 2021. Semi-final insults occur on February 17, 2022, when Gene Johnson admit back onto record fraudulent and unlawful documents. At the same time, Allan moved court to stop adversarial party from breaking numerous laws and continue to March 28. Whereafter, waste of all people's time, Gene Johnson announced continuance till May 16 of 2022, immediately after violating man's sacred right of contract and covenant with each other. People of America who think with logic, understanding, intelligence, conscience, and desire to save the soul and trust to them by said sovereign can only come to the idea officials' motives to waste all people's time could only be driven by the desire to discourage the general public from witnessing elected officials truly and lawfully executing their lawful duties, obligations, and responsibilities, as public is in attendance to witness and verify that said officials are not actively denying rights to perform unlawful privileges. People of America, charge Americans to appear at Henderson County Courthouse, 200 North Grove Street, Hendersonville, North Carolina, 28792, at 9 a.m. on May 16, 2022, to witness and verify official performance of law. And people of America charge duly elected and sworn officials to attend the matter of Allan Michael Smith expeditiously on May 16, 2022 at 9 a.m. or within 15 minutes thereafter, and prosecute until resolution of all matters without favor, denial, delay, or untimely interruption, as privileged persons, such as attorneys and lawyers and judges, shall wait behind the public unless there is another interest that consumes more public attention by number of persons in attendance. The single matter with the most amount of non-party people in attendance has right to first disposal. Okay, thank you for joining us back here on Just Conspiracy, where we just wish to conspire to bring heaven down to earth and restore our Father's kingdom back to him, the one true sovereign that we pray to, because we don't pray to the elected officials. And if you wonder why I'm using this microphone, it's because I just found it. This microphone is the professional microphone I used to use, and I used on the law show, but during the move, because I was locked up, because nobody could articulate the nature of the wrong and the cause of the accusation, and I was locked up for driving, when the officer testified multiple times that I was not driving when he approached me. I was walking out of the house in a driveway, and he just saw me. Somebody else packed up my microphone. It's broken. Because I live off of donations, because I can't really get paid, because the legal society has a monopoly on law, I don't have enough money to get a new one. It's sad. If you wish to donate, go to Venmo at Just Conspiracy, or there's going to be a link to the email for PayPal. But I just wish for everybody to know, if you donate something, I have really, really good reason to believe that the NSA and the deep state and, conspiracy theories are stopping donations from coming in, because that's the only thing that makes sense to me. So please make sure that you get in touch with me or Joni personally, Oracle personally, and get confirmation that we have gotten your donation. I would really, really appreciate it, because I'm hurt. I'm really hurt. Multiple people worked on this petition before Allan got his children back, his child back battered and bruised. Now DSS is involved. Allan is going to move the court for him to have custody until he goes back on May 16th. What we're deathly afraid of is that they're going to try and use the whole DSS situation to have a court so that Americans can still not witness what's going on, because they're going to kind of call it with not enough time for us to get people out there to watch them. So it's kind of up to Americans to make sure that this court goes on May 16th. And Allan's going to move the court so that he can have custody, stay the custody order that's in place right now, and have him have custody until this is all done with by May 16th. And then he's going to move to suspend or stay the consent order that he hasn't been consenting to, and he was fraudulently coerced into signing, because without his mom, without family support, without the family coming together to help protect and take care of these children, he's going to lose his job, he's going to lose a source of income. It's going to take away his ability to be a father. All in the courts that are supposed to uphold law and rights and justice. So we really gotta get people moving on this and watching these people. I mean, think about it. If Gene Johnson didn't do what he did, think about this. One of the last videos that I made was talking about Gene Johnson finding Allan uncredible and saying that Allan didn't do anything to discredit the other people's testimony. And you listen to the audio, it sounded to me like he did. But basically, the court found that because of the undue influence, because of Allan allegedly threatening to take the children away and ruin Katie's life, that they were going to set aside those contracts. They were going to set aside private contracts in Katie's favor to make everything fair. And within 4 days, Allan gets the children back battered and bruised. And the reason I made the call not to show the pictures is because one of the main bruises is right on the face. A big bruise on the face. And all of them are on separate parts of the body. Arm, back, face. How does that happen without something that shouldn't have happened going on? And Allan's scared to death that Tamara and Emily Cowan and the legal society are going to use this and spin it in some kind of way against him. He's got really good reason and cause to believe that. We're going to be passing this petition around for people to sign. It has a mailing address to mail in the signatures to. We really hope that people ask about it, connect with one another. It'll be going out in email chains. But we got to come together and do something about this. We really do. And it would really help. It would really help me if I could at least eat and breathe while I'm helping do this. Think about this right here, okay? Tamara Lee, the attorney who's advising her client to keep the children away from Allan, to hide them during a DSS investigation of allegations of sexual abuse against her or her partner that was living with her at the time, who has done unscrupulous things to Allan, who keeps moving fraudulent and vexatious stuff against Allan. You want to know why Gene Johnson had to impeach Allan's testimony? Because he testified to the fact that Tamara Lee was moving vexatiously against him, and she didn't object or even ask him any questions about it. You want to know why she didn't ask him any questions about it? You want to know why she didn't ask him to clarify? Because she didn't want that answer on the record of the court. That's why. That's why we got to impeach his testimony. And for all of you people who are like, oh, attorneys, lawyers, you got to get the right attorney, you got to get the right lawyer. Tamara Lee got within the top 40 attorneys, under 40. She got a national award, I think, in 2020, 2 years ago. I'm under 40. We've been showing her fraudulent activity since the day I started helping Allan on this. She gets paid hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. I find it hard to have enough money to eat, and I have invested everything I have to try and teach you law, because without law, none of us have a future. Think about that. Think about Allan's concerns with DSS. There's been an article in the Carolina Public Press. They are hiring people who are underqualified. They're hiring people who are underqualified because their workload's getting too heavy. Why do you think their workload's getting too heavy? I don't know. Maybe because the therapist who was seeing Lucas, who presumably was going to come back into court to commit perjury for Tamara Lee. I mean, that's just what I believe. That's just my personal belief. I don't know that that's a fact. But with all of the evidence, it's got me convinced. And I can't even buy a better microphone to give y'all better production to help this move forward. because it's so hard for me to eat. But that therapist said, well, yeah, I have to report about half of my clients' caregivers every other day. No wonder they have to hire people who are not qualified. No wonder they have an overworkload. It's all done by design. Be the change, make sense. I'm just asking for a few cents. Anyways, this petition will be being passed around. If you're watching this, please call the Henderson County Courthouse and tell them that you're a member of the public, and most especially if you are in Henderson County or Transylvania or Polk, because you are a registered voter, your voice counts more than the rest of the nation's, more than the rest of the people in the nation. But call them and let them know that you're interested in seeing this resolved on May 16th. And you're going to be incredibly disappointed if they move and do anything with this before May 16th, before Allan has a chance to put together his arguments about the consent order that was put into place, which could have maybe possibly avoided all of this. And think about this when Allan's asking to keep custody until they hear it on May 16th. But Katie kept the children over Christmas and New Year's during his time, and for the amount of time that she kept the children, it was close to the amount of time that he's asking to hold them for their own protection with really, really good evidence and proof. He's also going to move to set aside to have the court openly recognize that that consent order was fraudulent. And Gene Johnson, we tried keeping all of this stuff out of the court as much as we possibly could. We didn't think that the court would allow Tamara Lee to push this issue to the point where the entire story had to come out. We knew how much of an attack it would look if we came out with the entire story, and we didn't wish to give y'all a reason to really defend yourself, to really start attacking us. So we figured we'd leave all that stuff out in good faith and honor, because we don't care if you break the law. Just don't break it against us. If there are people out there who don't know their rights, that God doesn't speak to their heart well enough, that they don't know when the law is being broken against them, and you want to break the law against them, God bless you. But when a man or a woman comes in and they know their rights, and they stand in law, don't break the law against that individual. Because we will catch you. And Gene Johnson, I know that you're a judicial officer. You can't give me legal advice. But I'm going to give you legal advice you might wish to look into. Because upon information and belief, it is my belief, for some strange reason, that you can change, amend, and alter that order that you handed out last Monday for up to 10 days. And it doesn't include weekends, so you would have until this Friday to put something in. If, I don't know, maybe you figured with the new information that came to light and the new evidence that came to light, maybe you accidentally got it wrong. Accidentally, neglectfully, you got it wrong. I'll accept that. I'll buy that. I mean, why shouldn't you do it? You're a Republican conservative judicial officer who stands for the rule of law, law and order, personal rights and freedoms, and family values. Why wouldn't you do it? Anyways, it's just a suggestion. I've been putting my life on hold for this channel and to try to sound the alarm for everybody about how we're losing law long enough. I got my own life to attend to. I still haven't fully unpacked. I still got to help get my house in order and help my father sell his other house because I'm a man. That's what a man does. They respect thy mother and father. I wasn't able to do that because I was locked up for no reason. To make sure that I couldn't be with Allan on the 17th. It's funny how, 2 or 3 days after Allan set up that court date, how I get arrested for not driving my vehicle and have to show up to court the day before his court date. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. People, we gotta get this conspiracy going up off the ground and off the internet, which is why it's so vitally important for the people in Henderson County to come together on this one. The way I see it is that Henderson County and the people living up there, you almost have the sole ability to change this country without a shot being fired. And all you guys gotta do is care about one another and show up for each other at the courthouse. And listen to your heart about what law is instead of the legal society. It's vitally important. In the description there will be links for, Facebook Justice for District 42 and other various things. If you could spare any change, I would really appreciate it, but for sure, make sure you get in contact with us so we can verify we got it. The war is real. The information war is real. And everybody's fighting for their kingdom. Everybody's fighting for their father's kingdom. I'm fighting for my father's kingdom. And the case that I'm prosecuting is for their father's kingdom. That's the case I'm prosecuting against. If I lose this, their father's kingdom is the only kingdom that will ever be known on earth for the rest of time. But if people help me, because I can't do it alone, I can't do it without your help. If it's the people's wish, will, and desire to have our Father's kingdom restored to them, then we have to actually start working towards that goal. And we're going to have to sacrifice and give up things that are nice, that are comfortable, because He requires it of us, so that we can survive long enough to get the realization of His kingdom, and then like Job, He'll pay it back to us 10 times over. We are just conspiracy, and we just wish to conspire with all the other good people on this planet to leave a better world for future generations than the world we all grew up in. One world, love, and peace.
Regards to abuse or neglect, I have to report it.
Right.
And then from there, it can be screened in or screened out. So, I make reports on all my clients' caregivers like every other day, it seems like, because I have to, basically.
All right, you may proceed. This is a declaration for separation agreement and postnuptial agreement. I, man, Allan Smith, who speak and write under penalty of perjury before a court of law. Postnuptial and separation agreement are governed by consciousness and substantive in nature. Any logical and rational man or woman may choose to enter such contract. Said contracts are made with intent to be fair and honest. Real property, land protected by said contract is in trust to I by family, which I am heir to. If real property lose protection, it will cause further litigation, as right-of-way is private family land. I believe Tamara act vexatious in law with motions and litigation. I pray and wish judiciary uphold law and not interfere with obligation, duty, or protection of private contracts. I do not consent to any action that may jeopardize the safety, privacy, and peace of Smith family land and property. That is all.
All right, while you're up there, I'm going to give you another opportunity to explain or expand upon any answers you gave to this week's questions. Do you have anything you want to tell the court?
The only thing I can wish to expand on is the 2 pages in Exhibit A. The 1 page that has my signature is clearly not my signature, and I do not know.
Hold on just a second. Which page are you talking about? Which exhibit?
Exhibit A,
I want to be clear on
the attorney acknowledgement page, I believe.
it. All right, now, what is your testimony regarding page A1?
I do not know where page A1 and A2, came from, but this is not my signature. It's obvious that it's not the same signature as on the previous pages. And the reason Exhibit A on page A3 does not have a date on the witness our hands this day of is because this copy was never at the notary's to be signed. But it still has notary signature because the notary testified that she put the date in on page A3 on Exhibit B.
All right, Gisli, do you have any questions relating to what we just said? All right, great, step down.